This video is made for adult collectors because these guys show up for like one episode and get wrecked. That's a lot of wasted space. This thing is an exclusive to something. There's been no pre-order notice, no social or stream reveals for this. There's a listing that says it's a fan first exclusive, but then people say it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It just showed up at Canadian GameStops one day and wasn't allowed to be sold. And now it just came out like May 1st. GameStop just went, hey, it's up. No pre-orders and anything. It just went up. I went into a store and I found it. It's up pre-order now in Australia. This makes no sense to me. I don't get it. My 86 Snarl just shipped and is gonna be here, and that's not supposed to come out till what, August, July? But hey, they're here now and I can finally complete this squad of 4. Now, I've gone on record and said I don't like the cup mold and the RC mold, but I really like these two. They seem to have fixed a lot of the issues I had with Cup's arm falling off and RC's tabbing issues. However, I have seen a post by Decepticon Aiden on Twitter saying that their arm was loose and they got 2 mismatched panels, which Hasbro did respond to their tweet saying, hey, we'll help you out. So hopefully they get that fixed. Dion, I really like though. Like the colors, the tooling, the tolerances, the everything. I very much like the backpack. The new tooling makes the mold feel a lot more filled out and less scrawny. The blocky like backpack kind of hides how swooped down the shoulders are, which I think is cool. And I really like the head sculpt. The light piping is super lush and the paint on the face is so clean. Lips I often find are a bit awkward on these G1 style toys, but this one here, they did a very good job at making them just look natural. The new back section is very cool. These are 2 pieces that peg in via 5mm pegs and can be moved or detached. They can form 2 handguns that are blast effect compatible, and you can combine them together to form one big brick gun. I mean, the brick gun looks ugly, but I think that's a cool little feature at least. He does still do the limb thing, which feels pretty solid on my copy. Nothing wants to fall off or feels too tight, so that's nice. Ariel, spelled this way, probably to avoid the Disney banhammer, looks actually really good. I didn't like Legacy RC. Road Rocket was okay, but this one to me, with the new tooling and the new colors, just really suits this mold more and makes it look a lot better. Not to mention the torso tab feels like it's slightly longer, so it stays tabbed in and the knees lock in properly in place finally. It's the first copy I've had where it doesn't fall out all the time. The backpack is still a lot, but it doesn't want to fall off, which is nice. However, you can't do the whole open the wheel thing and stick it on her back because her ponytail gets in the way. She comes with a gun, and a new gun to my knowledge, and he comes with the gun and food thing, which honestly I could have done without another one of these food things. It's an accessory I never use. And with the Tryon and Pax packs, they look awesome. Kind of hoping they give us the figure of that like purple dude that Decepticons used in that episode. Army build that. So the posing on these molds you've seen before, right? Like this one, it's just, you know, the head rotates. It doesn't go up and down anymore because of the way the ponytail is done. Arms can rotate, they can go in and out. Bicep swivel, you know, wrist swivel. That weird torso ball joint, hips, in and out, thigh swivel. However, this one's like ratcheted. I don't know how you can hear that, but it's weird. It feels ratcheted and also not at the same time. Knees bend, 90, ankle tilt, blah, blah, blah. However, the one problem I have with the articulation is the ponytail, because it just comes off a lot. There's no like screw in there that it's covering, so I'm probably just gonna glue that in. Also, I quickly wanted to talk about this. Right there, you'll notice that that's broken. So I was transforming this yesterday, and that just came right off. I was like, well, paint. It doesn't affect anything, really. This still holds on perfectly fine. It's not loose or anything, but I took this all, like the whole thing off to take a look and see if I could glue the part back on. And if it's a bit strange, so right here, you can see there is a little gap right there. That entire thing is supposed to be one solid piece. This gap right here as well. So the glue, I think they put too much glue in it, and so it's not like set properly, and so there's a bit of a gap, and that widens this part. So that probably forced this off, and that's how it broke, was because this was too wide, and when I pushed it, it got caught and snapped off. So that's a bit of a shame. I've never had this happen on any other version of this mold, but it's not a detriment. I'm not angry, I'm just annoyed slightly. Now Dion's posing, I like this a lot. It's the same as Cup, it's the same as Pax, but unlike those two, he doesn't want to fall apart. The head is on a very nice and expressive ball joint. You got shoulder rotation, they can go in and out. You have a bicep joint. You have over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, which is ratcheted. No wrist swivel, unfortunately, would have been nice. Waist rotation, which is really cool. Hips can go forward, they can go back, they can go in and out, like that far. You have a thigh rotation. You have slightly small detents at the knees, and then an ankle tilt. So he's very posable. These things can also rotate at the back as well. The backpack on this, though, doesn't like to stay on. There goes my dog. The backpack on this doesn't like to stay on a lot, which is kind of annoying. But it's not like it's going to fall off, but it doesn't take much for it to come right off. But I do really like Dion a lot. He's really cool. And then you can also, you know, you can do this. And then you can take an entire Junkion and plug it into the figure and have that, I guess. I don't know. Transformation on Ariel is fine. It's the RC conversion, so it's not the greatest thing, but it's all right. The leg parts still bug me, but the side tabs in a lot easier than the other versions of the mold. However, there's that weird break thing that happened. Dion, though, is really cool. Nothing changed much apart from the backpack, but the limbs don't like to come off when I transform it, and I love that. The backpack is cool too, because you don't have to parts form it to transform the new sections. The instructions, I think they tell you to, but like you just swing them and tab them in. I was expecting you to have to take that off, so I find that that's a very nice surprise to me. Alt modes are really cool. I like Ariel's colors on this bike, and the new shaping of the front end. They did just a really cool job with the nose section of the bike. It felt a tad lopsided though, like the way things fit around the tooling of the new parts made it sit a bit wonky at the crotch section on the top until it broke. Once it broke, it sits fine. So I'm pretty sure that piece was molded incorrectly on my copy and I never noticed it till it fell off. Because now it sits perfectly fine, so I'm actually happy that piece fell off. I do think it's a better alt mode than RC's bike. Like, it looks like a light cycle from Tron, that's why I like it so much. Dion though, ooh, I love the colors. The orange and the blue here is spread out so nice and it looks neat. I like how they did the orange matching between the paint and the plastic. It seems to match fairly well and it looks consistent and nice. Like the palm, the ABS, and the paints just sort of match very well. It also feels quite solid. The PAX version doesn't like to tab in on the top on mine here, and the arms tend to fall off a lot when I plug them in, but on Dion, everything just holds and is super solid and works enough to like stay in place, which I like. I like them both. These two I think are a cooler 2-pack, although they don't come with like a Vector Sigma thing. This was 72 Canadian dollars at GameStop, and while I have an Edge membership that dropped down to like 65 before tax, is it worth the 72? It's an exclusive SDCC or FanFest or something, I don't know, but it's going to be more exclusive than your average exclusive. So for then, I guess it's worth it. There is a lot of paint on these guys, but it's still a bit meh for that price. I would say wait for a sale, but at the same time, this will disappear very quickly. Like, it's already sold out on GameStop's website. You cannot buy them anymore there. You have to just be lucky to find it in stores. So it's up to you at the end of the day. I'm happy with my purchase. Again, I paid $65 because I have an Edge membership, and I highly recommend you get one of those. Not sponsored. But, it's 72 Canadian dollars, by the way, for those of you who are going to think I'm talking in US dollars. But that has been my look at the War Dawn 2-pack, Dion and Ariel, whatever. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.